the more you shift how you see, the more you'll uncover who you are. This is Perspective with Corey Katuna. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Perspective with me. I'm your host, Corey Katuna. And I just want to hop right into it today. I'm going to answer some of your questions. And before that, I just want to say I just got a voice note from a friend. I was just listening to it before I started recording. And she was talking about how she was at the gym listening to my episode on why safe spaces aren't safe. And she just described herself feeling brighter and clearer and better, sort of the more she was tuning into this. And I was thinking to myself, it was like putting a grin on my face. And I was like, this is the point. This is my goal. This is like why I'm doing this podcast in the first place, is this, like this effect of just gradually improving people's state, improving people's perspective, bringing people's energy up into more clarity, into more alignment with their true self, into a little bit more humor, a little more lightheartedness, a little more self-love, just a little less bogged down by whatever bullshit we kind of take on throughout the day. So as she was describing this, I was just thinking, yeah, that's my goal. And not only to do it with the podcast, with each episode. Yes, amazing. If as you're listening, you start to feel brighter and clearer and happier and more aligned and more like yourself and more like, oh yeah, this is how I see things. Oh yeah. Like that type of remembrance and confidence about who you are and what matters to you and what feels good and, what's interesting and, just that sort of realignment with who you are. Amazing. Yes, that's the goal. But not only through listening to an episode, but really that you strengthen that muscle to do it no matter what, to do it in any context, to do it with or without an episode. So simultaneously, I want to sort of bring that vibe in these episodes, but also I want to talk about things that empower you to do it yourself, the stuff that I've been learning about how to sort of maintain that type of an energy. So, and I don't know if you guys remember my episode on emotional intelligence, which I got a lot of sort of feedback about that, and I would love to do a follow-up on that one. But I'm not going to right now, I don't think. But if you remember that episode, I talk about basically this spectrum of the emotional guidance system, basically, so that the better you feel, the more relevant for you, the more accurate, although I'm careful with that, your thoughts are. So the better you feel, the more confident, aligned, bright, happy, joyful, interested, connected you feel, the more your thoughts are relevant for you, the more accurate they are. So, okay, and then one of the pushbacks I got on this episode was like, okay, so I don't know. My leg fell off and that sucks. So that the thought that my leg fell off is not true. No, no. I mean, maybe from some level, from where you really are, from the unity of God. No, none of this stuff is true. Everything is one. Everything is exactly as it is and changeless and timeless and perfect. So, okay, from that perspective, indeed, no, your leg did not fall off. Everything is good. But from our relative perspective, that's a counterproductive way to use the emotional guidance system. Anyway, my point was, if you remember that model, that the better you feel, the more true or constructive your thoughts are. Oh, I might have to get into this just a little bit. Let me just give you one example of that. So let's do it with self-talk. All right, so you're at the gym, I'm at the gym, and I'm thinking to myself, this isn't working. It's not, there's no point to this. I'm not getting stronger. I've been at the same weight for, let's just say for shoulders. I've been at 17.5 kilo at my shoulders. This is true in each arm for a long time. I don't seem to be getting any stronger. Why am I wasting my time? Why am I even, do I even want to get buff shoulders? What am I doing? What am I doing? All right. So that can be a thought that feels, it doesn't feel awful, but it doesn't feel bright for sure. It feels like a little defeated, a little, just like bummed out. Like It's not working. What's the point? Why am I even doing this? Do I even know what I want? It's like a little confused, right? And so I already have this mechanism dialed in so much. I've practiced this so much that I have a little simultaneous meter. Whenever I'm constantly noticing the quality of my thoughts. So if I have a thought like that, even before I have a thought like that, I'm noticing my state, and it's like, likely whatever I think from this state is not going to be useful for me. It's not going to be true. I don't believe it. I'm not going to believe it. I'm going to assume I'm wrong. I'm not even going to take that on. So sort of by default, when I'm having thoughts like that, I'm just like, discredited, not even entertaining this. These are just like moody thoughts, hormonal thoughts, whatever. Who even knows where this comes from? I'm not taking this on. Either I'm just going to kind of clear my mind and just continue to work out, or I'm going to start reaching for more productive thoughts, more constructive thoughts, more true thoughts. So the way to do that would be to first get to neutral. Usually it's first to get to neutral. Just like, okay, like empty it out. Let it all go. Let it all go. Not thinking anything. Not thinking anything. Nothing. Literally just ding. And sprints are good for this. If you want to just like bust your ass doing the hardest sprint you can possibly do, honestly is a good mind clearer. Or just a little meditation practice, like a brief one. Bentinho talks about 2 to 5 seconds. Can you release all thoughts for 2 to 5 seconds and brighten your awareness of awareness itself? Just sing. So sometimes I'll do that. So just get to neutral, sort of blast away the negative thoughts or any type of thoughts. Return to what you are. Hold it. Abraham Hicks talks about getting to 17 seconds. If you can sort of hold a state for 17 seconds, it begins to form its own momentum. So just hold it, and then reach for the highest feeling thought that you have access to. Or what I'll do, and this is just like a little personal hack you can use if you want, is I say, nice. I just put that word into my head. Nice. Okay. How is this nice? Nice. Yes. Or I'll go like that and be like, yes. Nice. Okay. Now that this is nice, now that whatever's happening, my shoulder progress that I haven't made any gains in the last 3 months, nice. Okay, now how is this nice? First thing that comes to mind, it's nice because it teaches me resilience. This is my opportunity to press through a plateau. This is a long plateau. I haven't gone up in weight. I want to. I'm getting tested. This is an opportunity. And that's what nice always does for me. It's like, okay, I'm having one of these thoughts. Oh, caught it. Nice. Okay. Sweet. Perfect. Exactly what I want. Ooh, got it. This is a test. This is an opportunity. So it brings me into the perspective of opportunity. All right. So, okay. And then my point is, of course, that's more true. Either is equally true or untrue, right? We can just kind of paste that. Everything is inherently meaningless, and everything is just however we interpret it. Whatever meaning we attribute to something, that is the meaning we experience. So it's kind of a misnomer to say more true or less true. But what about your alignment, your potential, your fulfillment? That's the context that we're looking at more true thoughts versus less true thoughts. It's in the context of your fulfillment, your realization of your potential, your path, your life stream. So it is relevant. Some thoughts are true for your life stream. They're true for your fulfillment. Okay, think about parenting. If you're like, I am bored, I don't want to hang out with my kids. My kids are boring. I don't have kids, but I have friends that have kids. So, but what if, you're thinking, this just is the worst. Okay, nice. All right, I'm having these thoughts about that my kids are bored. Okay, this is my opportunity to come up with something that's actually entertaining to me and connecting with me and my kids. Nice. Okay, now that is more true for your life stream, most likely. If you actually care about bonding with your kids and having a good time as a person and being fulfilled, it will feel aligning. It's more true for you to have a thought like, here's an opportunity for a new way to connect with my kids that is actually engaging for me. That's an opportunity. That's a good find. That is more in alignment. It's an opportunity to live more true to yourself. It is more true to you, your true self. not to your ego, not to your fears, not to your avoidance, not to your justifications and laziness. More true for you. Okay, cool. So I don't use the emotional guidance system to be like, okay, what's the answer to this math test? A, B, C, D. Okay, this one feels worse. This one, I'm not using it for facts. Although that's not totally true either, because it's like how you relate to things. The emotional guidance system is relevant for how you navigate and how you relate to things and how you interpret things, and the narrative that you are telling. The narrative that you are telling is your experience of it. So, where was I going with that? Okay, I did feel like I wanted to correct some of that. That was the main feedback I was getting from the emotional intelligence episode. And higher perspectives are more true for you. Cool. Optimism. So optimism is the real realism. And I know that just you just want to be like, no. But it is like, for you, optimism is more realistic. For me, optimism is more realistic. It's more realistic for my goals. It's more realistic for me and my fulfillment and the realization of my potential. It is actually more realistic. Pessimism, cynicism, whining, low frequencies, low levels of energy, feeling like a victim, feeling separate, feeling like, why does this always happen to me? God, I suck. I'm the worst. I always get this wrong. Nobody even gets me. Nobody likes me. I don't like anybody anyways. I don't even like people. This is not consistent with the you that you want to be. It's just not. Maybe it feels good. Maybe it feels a little protected, not good. It doesn't feel good. It feels kind of safe, kind of comfortable. It feels, it's like putting a barrier up between you and people. It kind of insulates you. It kind of protects you. But it's really just a bad habit. Judgment and negativity and blame and sort of telling yourself victim stories. It's just a bad habit. It's just not true. You're out of tune with reality. You're out of tune with the reality of your highest timeline, you could say. All right, that was, okay, I wasn't really intending to start like that, but we did. That's what we did. That's what we've just done. And now it's over. Too late now. So what I wanted to do with this episode is answer some of your questions. I want to answer some of your questions. All right, why don't we just hop right into it? I guess some of the episodes will just be like this, where I'm just riffing. Okay. Got some good questions from you. And where I get these questions is I'm occasionally on my Instagram stories. I will just put in a Q&A box. So I'll just say, I'm going to answer some of your questions on the podcast. Feel free to ask them here. So if you're following me on Instagram, you'll see that sometimes. What are the main principles / ways of thinking / perspectives that lead to a fulfilling social life? Oh, God, I love this. Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind about having a fulfilling social life, one is honoring your trajectory, honoring your guidance. Whatever you're curious about, whatever you're interested in, really pursuing that sincerely and hungrily and risking losing friends. And I think this is more applicable early in your life, like in your 20s. It's more of like, I have to sort of choose between, God, I just want to pursue spirituality and awakening, or I want to go to these workshops about these types of companies, or I want to apply to a job like this, or I want to move here. And taking the risk to do that, to follow that guidance, to go for it, even if that means disrupting your friend group or, hurting some people's feelings a little bit, intimidating people, whatever. But in order to live a life that is more true to you, that's basically my point here, is that the more you prioritize living in alignment with your heart, with your true self, with your innermost guidance, the more you will just find yourself around people that are doing the same thing. That obviously, like just as a mechanic of life, like literally where you are, the types of buildings that you're standing in, the type of rooms that you're in, the conversations that you're having, the ways that you spend your money. It's if you're focused on your actual goals, like your actual intentions, you're not living somebody else's life, you're going to find yourself around people who are also focused in that same direction. So that is the main thing that I attribute my current amazing social life to. And I have one of those social lives that's just like, damn, I'm so lucky. The people that I'm around, how close we are, how resilient we are, how just how honest we are with each other. What amazing, solid, real, good friendships we have, based on all facing in the same direction, not based so much on like what we can get from each other, the comfort we provide for each other, but like being on the same mission, facing in the same direction, running toward the same goals, and just being able to help each other, boost each other, support each other. That's so cool and so lucky and so rare. And I attribute that to all of our willingness to sort of take risks, to be authentic and live a life that is true to ourselves, regardless of the social consequences at first. And then we get the payoff of a much more aligned social life. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. And then once you sort of have that, more or less, one of the main things that really touches my heart, that really feels like a unifying factor in friendships, it's also the way my family operates. So I'm grateful for that, to have just been sort of raised this way, is that you just get through things. Like nothing is ever a deal breaker. And again, I wouldn't attribute this to like anybody. So I wouldn't, like, there are deal breakers with some people. Like if I'm not super aligned in a friendship and then they steal from me, like that's all right. I'll give you maybe one more chance, but like, I don't want a dishonest friendship. That's kind of a deal breaker for me. But when it comes to like my family and my friends now, like all these people that I trust, that are solid, that I'm committed to, like I'm invested in my friends. Everybody who's my friend right now, I'm invested in. I'll be with you for the rest of my life unless something crazy happens, I'm invested with my family. And the feeling I have is, yeah, I'll get through anything. I'll be resilient. You offend me, fine. I offend you, fine. We're going to talk it out. We're going to get through everything. So that's just I don't know. I think I'm built like that. And maybe I've just surrounded myself with other people that are built like that. There are many more things that contribute to a good social life. But I think the first one of like staying true to yourself and then seeing who's around you after you've stayed true to yourself and taken some risks and, maybe lost some people, then who is still there, the more true to yourself you become. Then you're surrounded by people who have like humor that matches yours and like temperaments that work with yours. It's like it does so much filtering just to stay true to yourself. And then the friendships just are like, dang, we're so compatible. This is not like, I'm not reaching to be friends with you. Okay, so I think those are the main things. But God, my Romee, my good friend, and I taught a 3-part workshop on growing together. And it has so much to do with this topic, and in our mentorships and at our retreats, this is like one of the main things we talk about is friendship, and real friendship, intimacy, like transparency, knowing each other, getting through things, having staying power, having the full conversation, even when it's tough, like really getting over things, getting closer through conflict, that, because you were avoiding that conflict, you couldn't get to the even better unity on the other side. So there's a lot. I could talk about a lot when it comes to having an amazing social life, but I think that'll do for now. Let me know if you have follow-up questions. All right, maybe I'll do 2 more since I already feel like I spent quite some time in the intro of this episode. Using rejection as fuel to shift your perspective and grow. Rejection is just catalyst. So getting rejected, getting anything that sucks, getting abandoned, getting canceled, getting, losing something, losing money, losing a friend, It's all catalyst, and through all catalyst, learning is possible, period. So then how to capitalize on that learning opportunity of any hard thing, any challenge, any catalyst, any difficulty, you just go through it, I guess. You just feel it. You feel it, you pay attention, you talk about it. This is what I would do. So if I get rejected, if I'm really interested in somebody and then I get rejected, then that would feel like something, And it's so common for people to just avoid that, like just move on, shut down, like silence whatever that part is. But instead to just look at it. And it helps to have a little bit of distance from yourself to be able to like look at it with objective eyes as the observer, not as, we talked about this on a previous episode, but not to be like looking through the lens of pain only. And you are the pain itself and you are suffering, but to be able to look at it with compassion and care and love and to know you're going through something and this too shall pass. So let me feel this. Let me, what is this showing me in myself? Is this teaching me to open my heart more? Is this teaching me, is this person representing something that I want? And yes, I'm not going to get it through them, but there's something in there that I want for myself. My soul wants something I want to learn, something I want to feel, something I want to be, just to be more like. So is there something that this person represents? And that's actually that's sort of why I've, projected onto them. I think it's them. I think it's you. You are the thing that I want. This is what I've been looking for. Are you sure? I've felt this so many times. Let me just speak as a woman. I felt this so many times that somebody's interested in me. And it's like, hold on a second. You're not interested in me. I represent something to you. I'm a symbol of something. I can feel it. I can feel it on the receiving end. I can feel it's not about me. Otherwise I would feel like my potential is being boosted. But instead I feel a little objectified, which is fine. This does not offend me at all. But I just use it as like, as a point for people to be like, you're looking at like something that I am not. You're looking at like maybe my body or the way that I think or whatever, or even the state that I'm in and all of that. None of that is me. So there's, I represent something to you and that's cool. That's actually yours. That's between you and your soul. That's between you and God. That's between you and your own life stream, your own pursuit, your own interest. It's not me that you're so interested in. Yes, I know I just symbolize that and I represent that. And if you could just get me, that would feel great and it would feel like your needs are getting met and it would be, it would sort of act like a proxy, but you can get that thing met without me. It's not me. I can tell, I know I'm because you're not, what I actually am is not being seen. It's not being met. I can feel that. So that's how I know that I'm representing something for you. And that should feel empowering. That should make you feel like, oh, the thing that piques my interest about this person is not them. I don't need them. I don't need to like have sex with them. I don't need to like marry them. I don't need this human, physical, personal circuitry with this person. It's actually something that they symbolize. And that's much closer to what I'm really interested in. It's like the evolution of my soul wants something like a code, a clue. This person has a clue or like a little zip file. And if I can become a little more sensitive and pay attention to what is that thing actually? What is that? What are they representing? Not my future wife, not the comfort and safety and validation and how all my friends would get to see me differently if I got that person. No, something that my soul wants to learn that person represents or symbolizes or has. Let me isolate that. Let me connect to that real essence. And now I can pursue that directly. It's probably related to my own learning or my own generosity, my own wisdom, my own development. And now let me pursue that directly. That's a much more honorable use of a love interest in, 80% of cases, total arbitrary number, but then just pursuing them and chasing them. But again, this is not so common to be able to do this. Usually usually people just chase each other, and then you get them or you don't. And then you know, if you get them, then you get married, and then, you know, you still don't have that. You still don't quite meet that need because you never sought it. You thought it was them. But then it's like, no, you still got to do the work. You still got to, your soul still wants to learn and grow and evolve and realize this potential. Just because you got them doesn't mean you got that, the thing that you really wanted. So that's common. Or the other common thing is that, you know, you'll get rejected, and then you'll sort of think that's the one that got away, or if only I could have been with that person, then I would have had that. Instead of just being like, wait, no, what is that clue? What is that little thing that I really wanted? What did they represent? What did they symbolize? And I think we could do a lot to objectify each other a little less, and be responsible for our own evolution, our own realization of our potential a little more, to protect each other's growth and, you know, their unique path, their unique development, their unique blossoming, and our own. If we, you know, try to own each other a little less, let each other be free. And then from freedom, the relationships that naturally connect, that naturally come together, those are just so much more aligned. It's like my friend group. It's actually a full circle, this episode. Comes back to what I was talking about in the beginning. The more you pursue what's true for you, and the more you create your own freedom by saying, no, I'm not taking this on. I'm not going to do what my peers expect from me. I'm going to pursue what really interests me. I'm going to stay true to myself. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to live in alignment with my heart and my soul and my spirit and my guidance. The more you will naturally attract people who are there too, people who are on your same path with you, who are meant to be there, not because, oh, this person represents something that I really want, so let me reach for them and grab them and keep them, but let me pursue what's really true for me. And when I'm there, who's also there? And then the relationship comes with so much less grasping, so much less lack, so much less fear of losing. It's like, yeah, of course we're doing this together. Like, as opposed to what? We're both built for this. So I still haven't met that like person, unless you want to say my team is that person, the people that I find myself with every day. So in a way, I'm in a relationship already, even though it's a platonic one and it's a group of friends. But, you know, I feel like in a way my needs are met. So meeting a man it'd be like, yeah, well, you would be a teammate as well. You'd be on this exact same path. You'd be here. You'd be around me because I'm in alignment and I'm authentic. I'm living my life stream. This is true for me. It would be like a psycho detour for me to just be like, all right, I'm going to move over to wherever you live, and we're going to build a family, and we're going to build our house and have that would be just so self-destructive. I've kind of tried it, and I just start getting depressed so fast, which is a nice little mechanism that's built in. Wow. Okay. Well, I think that's the episode for the day. Thanks for some of your questions. I only got to 3, but I went into them full throttle. So maybe I'll answer some of the other ones in another episode. And again, you can ask me these questions occasionally on my Instagram whenever I prompt it. And I think that's it for the day. All right. Love you. Mwah.